I made a lot of mistakes after my breakup, but my biggest one wasn't texting her. It wasn't crying over her. It wasn't trying to get over her. It was checking her social media. It started innocently, like right after our breakup. I used to slowly check her Instagram, see how she's doing. Is she doing okay without me? Is there any inkling of her caring about me? Is she seeing anybody? There's a stuff in my head I wanted to know. I thought it was harmless, like I thought it was just that can keep track of her, I just wanted to know. The person who I was speaking to every single day for 7 years had just left, and I just wanted to know what was going on in her life. I no longer had that access. So the only access I had was through social media. But the more I did it, the more I didn't realize that that was the worst thing I could have done. The rabbit hole I went down lasted for years. I didn't realize what I was becoming. Looking back, honestly, I don't think it was checking her socials. I think I just became addicted to the feeling. So everyone, after a breakup, has essentially stalked their ex. And you can't tell me you haven't. It's the natural order of things. Now, if you're really strong, you're not going to. But I still have yet to see anybody or have heard about anybody who hasn't done that. And maybe the people who have said they haven't done it are lying, or their ex just doesn't have social media. So everyone tells themselves, look, it's going to be one look and that's it. And that was me. I used to tell myself, one look, bro, and I'll be fine. I just want to see, just get a glimpse of what's going on. So I used to stalk a lot of things, man. I used to stalk her Instagram. That was a big thing. I used to stalk her stories. I used to ask mutual friends about her. Any inkling, because she literally gave me nothing. After our breakup, she gave me nothing. She didn't want to talk to me. She didn't want to associate with me. And I even went to her Spotify playlists and I saw like her making playlists about things. And that was like literally one of the worst things I could have done, because it affected songs that I actually enjoyed. If she put a song on her playlist that I enjoyed, I essentially stopped enjoying that song forever. It ruined music for me for a bit, because a lot of the songs that I liked, she liked too. But the worst thing I could have done, and I think a big problem with social media nowadays, is TikTok reposts. I've seen so many memes about TikTok reposts when your parents say, oh, as if you haven't got a girlfriend yet, but they had never had to play in the avoidant attachment era. And then the top comment on that was, Unc has never been stalking her reposts at 2 a.m. and at night. And bro, I relate to that so much. Stalking her reposts and trying to decipher what the hell she means by every single repost. And I think reposts are honestly the most toxic things to ever come out of social media. They're a reflection of what someone's thinking, it's true. Or it could be a reflection of what someone's trying to perceive themselves as to others. They want to show themselves, this is what I'm thinking right now, these are my interests, and they're reposting posts that they relate to. That's essentially what reposts are, right? So a lot of the early reposts were about me, and there were a bunch of like hating ones and a bunch of sad ones that really affected me, man. There was one I remember where it was like, she made me out to be this controlling person. It was a repost. It was something about your ex. So when someone compliments you on your outfit, but your ex wouldn't have let you walk out with her. And I was like, I can't believe like she even thought of me that way. I didn't know, because I never acted that way. But that's essentially you overthinking someone's repost. And it wasn't until she started reposting things that weren't about me is where it really became serious. She started reposting stuff about her experiences that I was never a part of now. And she started reposting about other guys, right? Like her experiences with the other guys. To repost stuff about situationships and talking to other guys and stuff like that. And, guy problems when you're single. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, you already moved on. I can't believe it. It was like, 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in, and I was hurt. And I shouldn't have done that, because if I had never stalked reposts, I would have never had known about all this stuff. I had never had gotten a glimpse into her life and what she was doing, because her reposts were essentially a glimpse into her life. I convinced myself I was looking for closure. I don't even know what I was looking for. I really don't. Maybe a glimpse, something, I don't know. And the big problem that came out of stalking, and a lot of you guys can 100% relate, is that my mood, it wasn't mine anymore. I was not determining how I felt. I had a morning routine, right? I used to wake up, check your Instagram, check your TikTok. Anything about me? That's the first thing I'd do. Literally, wake up, grab my phone, and check. If I saw nothing, I was relieved. And my day would be, as okay as it can be. But if I saw something, you best bet my day was fucked. The scary part, honestly, wasn't what she posted. It's how much power I gave those posts. For example, man, I'd wake up, I'd check something, or one of her Instagram posts would be her eating food, and it'll be a silhouette in the background. And I'd start stressing, man, is she hanging out with some other guy already? And then that's it, my mood's fucked for the day. But if she had posted nothing, or she had posted that, something comfortable, kind of related to the person I used to know, my day would be okay. Or if she posted nothing, my day would be even better. And the fact that I let that determine what my mood was gonna be for the day is honestly the most messed up thing you can ever do. That, my friend, is when I realized that was an addiction. I was addicted, right? I was addicted to stalking reposts. I was addicted.
the first thing I used to do is grab my phone and check every morning. It's like, there's people who can't live without their vape. That's me. That was me with stalking. Essentially, it became my drug. Now, I've never been addicted to anything. I've never smoked. I've never drank. I've never taken any sort of drugs. Like, that's what I can imagine what addiction was like. What addiction is like, actually. I got a taste of it. Like, I told myself I'd stop, right? I gave myself so many avenues to stop. I used to delete apps, re-download apps. And I used to go, you know what? When I'm feeling like really down, I used to be like, a drug. I'd be like, okay, I'm going to stalk one more time and then that's it. I'm going to delete my app. And I'd convince myself of that fact, right? I tell myself I'm going to stalk, delete. Stalk, delete. The next day, I'd be, okay, just one more check. Just one more check. Just one more check. And it took a toll on me. And that was the first time in my life that I understood addiction. And obviously, guys, it's not the same thing. Okay, it's not the same thing as drugs. Let's be real. But I finally understood what it's like when your brain wants something and like that, that thing's hurting you. So eventually when I went to therapy, actually I was in therapy and stalking at the same time. I used to talk to my therapist about it. I used to talk to him about why I kept checking and why I couldn't stop, and how the only reason I used to do it is because it was literally my last connection to her. Because I wasn't checking because I wanted information, bro. Like I was checking because obviously I wasn't ready to let go. I want to talk about like the old days. How the fuck did relationships happen in the old days? Like when a breakup used to happen in the old days, you'd literally never see that person again. There was no social media, no internet, no form of stalking unless you literally knew where they lived and followed them, and which kind of sicko would do that. There was nothing. But now people's lives are so accessible that it's made it so much harder to get over someone because you literally have an instant access into their life through social media. TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Spotify, these keep people connected. And unfortunately, in terms of breakups, it's literally the worst thing. For relationships, it's one of the best things. But in breakups, it's the complete polar opposite. I don't think breakups got harder because people changed. I think breakups, they got harder because we never actually lose access anymore. So I'm going to segue into a story, right? I went on one of my stalking trips, as usual. I woke up in the morning. You know how people wake up in the morning and they get a cigarette straight away? Or they get the energy drink? Or they get their vape out. That's what I was doing. I woke up in the morning, I grabbed my phone. Let's have a look at what she's doing today. She posted a dump, right? Seeing that dump, I'm just scrolling. It was like a June or July dump. I can't remember. I think it was July. So that was like 2 years ago. I saw her photo of her with another guy and his hand was resting on her thigh. And it completely broke me, bro. Looking back, it wasn't her fault. She was moving on with her life. And it wasn't something that literally happened to me. Like, it wasn't a direct impact on me. It was something that happened to me because I went looking for it. And if I had not had gone looking, if I had not been stalking, that wouldn't have fucked me up because I would have never had known. I would have never seen that photo. That's what I'm trying to iterate to you guys. By stalking is so freaking bad for your mental health and so bad on moving on. Thank God I don't do that shit anymore. But man, it's tough. It's tough, especially when you have nothing else in your life. At that time, I was literally doing nothing else. I was going to work, going home, that's it. But thank God now, alhamdulillah, I've gone through so many better avenues and I just don't have the time or energy to stalk anymore. So I went on a really weird phase of going months of not stalking and then a month of stalking to eventually the months of not stalking went on to be longer than the months of stalking. Came to a point where I literally couldn't do it anymore. Obviously, I'd gotten better mentally. She ended up privating all her accounts. That was the end of that. So that's it. It's been like a good 6 months to a year since I've last checked her social media. So, and honestly, you feel a whole weight lifted on your shoulders when you do it. And I know a lot of you guys don't have that freedom of literally you can't stalk the person because they're on private. Some girls are on public, or guys, if you're a girl. That's where a lot of self-control comes in and discipline. You have to find other avenues in your life. You have to stay busy. You do. People can give you all this information about, taking the time to heal and grieving. Obviously, getting distracted in your hobbies, but you have to stay busy and you have to be drained. You cannot have time and energy to even look at these Instagram posts or TikTok or whatever. You cannot stalk because majority of the time, stalking only happens when you're bored and you have nothing else to do. That's what I realized. So always have something to do. Hop on that game. If you have a game, play it. Even if it's a grindy game, the more grindier, the better. If you have a job, work. I know you hate work, but like just work. And if you don't want to work, go do a hobby that takes you outside. That's my biggest advice, guys. Take a hobby, do a hobby that takes you outside of the house. Because that way you're not at home and you can just not have that easy access of stalking. Trust me, when you're outside, you have less tendency to stalk. Play sports, do something physically active, go gym. I know it's cliche, but go gym. See, my journey was so like far from linear and still is. But the first day I didn't check. I didn't even notice it. Like I didn't think, okay, this is day one and I'm not gonna check. No, it just stopped happening naturally. Eventually, one day you will just stop, unless you have some sort of weird obsession. Speak of that movie Obsession, take some notes from that movie. Don't be Bear. If you've seen that movie Obsession, don't be Bear, bro. Don't stalk, because it only creates this fantasy in your head that fucks you up mentally. So eventually you just stop. Eventually you stop. If you tell yourself you're gonna stop, you will eventually stop. Take my advice, stay busy, and you will stop. I guarantee it. If you're watching this, man, for the few people who do watch my videos, and you're checking your ex's profile every day, honest to God, I'm talking to you straight. Bro, I'm not judging you. I'm really not. I'm the last person who would be judging you, because I know exactly why you're doing it. But I also know something you don't believe yet. You are delaying the life that's waiting for you. Sometimes moving on isn't about getting closure. Sometimes it's about closing the tab. I know you guys like that one.